Rowlett, Texas, is a growing suburban city located in the northeastern part of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. Positioned along the eastern shores of Lake Ray Hubbard, Rowlett offers a scenic and serene environment, making it a popular choice for families and those seeking a quieter lifestyle while still being close to the bustling urban centers of Dallas and Fort Worth. The city has a population of around 70,000 people and is known for its strong sense of community, excellent schools, and numerous recreational opportunities. Lake Ray Hubbard is a central feature of Rowlett, providing residents with access to water sports, fishing, and lakeside parks. The city's extensive park system and trails also cater to outdoor enthusiasts, offering spaces for walking, biking, and enjoying nature. Rowlett has experienced significant growth in recent years, with ongoing development in residential, commercial, and infrastructure projects. The city is well connected by major highways and public transportation, making it an attractive location for commuters. The DART Blue Line provides light rail service to downtown Dallas, further enhancing accessibility. The downtown area of Rowlett has been revitalized, featuring a mix of dining, shopping, and entertainment options, contributing to the city's lively atmosphere. Community events and festivals are common, fostering a strong local culture and providing opportunities for residents to engage and connect. Overall, Rowlett combines the benefits of suburban living with easy access to the amenities of a major metropolitan area, making it a desirable place to live in North Texas. And this is where our story takes place. On the early morning of June 6, 1996, at precisely 2:31 a.m., a frantic call for help echoed through the stillness of Rowlett, Texas. This peaceful suburban community, known for its tranquil streets and family-friendly atmosphere, was abruptly jolted by a harrowing emergency call from the Routier residence. Darlie Routier, the mother of 3 young boys, was on the line with a 911 dispatcher, her voice a mix of terror and desperation. She reported that an intruder had broken into their home and viciously attacked her and her 2 oldest children, 6-year-old Devon and 5-year-old Damon. For nearly 6 minutes, the dispatcher kept Darlie on the phone as she repeatedly pleaded for help, her cries punctuated by the grim news that her children were gravely injured and that she herself had been stabbed. The dispatcher, striving to keep Darlie calm and gather critical information, listened as Darlie's voice grew increasingly distressed, reflecting the sheer horror of the unfolding tragedy. When the police and paramedics arrived, a large kitchen knife. Despite the best efforts of the emergency responders, both children had already succumbed to their injuries by the time help arrived. The sheer brutality of the crime left an indelible mark on the investigators and first responders. Darlie herself was found with severe injuries, a deep slash across her throat, and several cuts on her arms. She claimed these wounds were inflicted by the intruder who had attacked her family. The paramedics and police worked swiftly to tend to her, trying to piece together the details of the horrifying event. The youngest Routier child, 8-month-old Drake, was miraculously found safe and unharmed in his crib upstairs. His survival amidst the chaos added a small glimmer of hope in the otherwise bleak situation. Darren Routier, Darlie's husband, was discovered upstairs, claiming that he had been asleep during the attack. According to Darren, he was roused by Darlie's screams and rushed downstairs to the horrifying scene of his wife and children in distress. His account of the events would soon become a focal point of the investigation. The tragic events of that night would set off a complex and emotionally charged investigation, one that would capture national attention and become the subject of intense scrutiny and debate. The Routier family's nightmare was only beginning. As the details of that fateful night unfolded and the search for answers began. From the very beginning, the Rowlett Police Department grew increasingly. Several inconsistencies and anomalies began to surface, casting doubt on her version of the events. Darlie had told the police that an intruder had entered their home through a window, attacked her and her two oldest sons, and then fled the scene. However, upon examining the crime scene, investigators found several issues with this narrative. The window through which Darlie claimed the intruder had gained entry had a cut screen, but the surrounding dust and mulch were undisturbed. This suggested that the window had not been used as a point of entry. Furthermore, a bread knife from the Routier's kitchen, which was discovered in the house, had fibers matching those from the screen. This led investigators to believe that the screen might have been cut from inside the house rather than from outside. Additional troubling details emerged as the investigation progressed. Despite her severe injuries, Darlie had not immediately attended to her children.
This is a sick individual that took absolutely nothing from our house, but took the two most important things that were important to us.
Forensic experts scrutinized every detail of the case, piecing together the evidence to uncover the truth behind the tragic deaths of Devon and Damon Routier. The growing suspicion around Darlie's involvement would set the stage for a complex and highly publicized legal battle as the search for answers in this heart-wrenching case unfolded. On June 18, 1996, only 12 days after the tragic murders of Devon and Damon Routier, Darlie Routier was arrested and charged with capital murder. The case swiftly attracted national media attention, driven by the dramatic 911 call Darlie made, her emotional television interviews, and the shocking circumstances of the crime. The prosecution's case against Darlie was primarily based on circumstantial evidence, enhanced by forensic findings. The team argued that the silly string video was taken out of context.
Happy birthday, dear Devon. If you knew Devon and Damon, you would know that they're up in heaven, and they're up there having the biggest birthday party that we could ever imagine. And they wouldn't want us to be down here being sad, even though our hearts are breaking.
Taken out of context. They contended that the gathering was intended to honor Devon's birthday, reflecting his desire for a celebration involving silly string. They also presented expert testimony asserting that Darlie's injuries were consistent with her account of being attacked by an intruder. Furthermore, the defense highlighted the lack of a clear motive for a random attacker and suggested that the police had prematurely focused on Darlie as the primary suspect. Despite the defense's arguments, the jury was persuaded by the prosecution's presentation of the case. On February 4, 1997, after 8 hours of deliberation, Darlie Routier was found guilty of the murder of her tried for Damon's murder. Charges related to Devon's death were not pursued, as a conviction for one of the murders was sufficient to impose the death penalty. Since her conviction, Darlie Routier has consistently maintained her innocence. Her case has been a focal point of debate and controversy, with supporters arguing that she was wrongfully convicted based on flawed evidence and a biased investigation. Critics point to perceived gaps in the prosecution's case, including the lack of a clear motive and the possibility of alternative suspects. In the years following her conviction, continued debates and legal proceedings indicate that the case may not be fully resolved. Whether Darlie Routier is a deliberate murderer or a victim of systemic errors remains a matter of intense scrutiny and discussion.